Yo, 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 it's D.Arthur in the building. Talking to you guys today about why seed retention is necessary to raise our consciousness and why we will finally raise our set of beliefs, our standards, and who we are as individuals when we decide to retain and we really start to tune in with what's happening in front of us. Because so the thing is, seed retention. How does seed retention raise our consciousness? See, the thing is, seed retention raises our consciousness because the seed retention. What happens when we go on seed retention is that the seminal fluid that's backed up in our, let's say, nut sac, it starts it starts reabsorbing throughout the entire body. So we start becoming more vibrant. We become very enthusiastic. The seminal fluid raises through our entire body, and now we might be operating at just a different level of consciousness. We're no longer in the lust filled consciousness. We're no longer thinking that that the box, the V box, is the best thing on earth. We don't. That's not longer in our priorities. That's not longer in our consciousness. We obviously know we're still aware of it, but that's not our priorities. Our priorities are a little bit different. We have a different set of priorities and beliefs now. We have a set of beliefs. We have a set of reason to believe that there's better out there. There's better for us. We are entitled to the better things in life. We start wanting to conquer our worlds. We finally want to start conquering our worlds. We finally want to become our best versions. We finally want to become someone that we can really be proud of in the future. We're no longer putting the box on a pedestal. The 99% is putting the box on a pedestal, but we are not. We are in the top 1%. We are producers. We are people who tend to solve problems. We're people who tend to become somebody. We are people with a plan, and we conquer our plans. We're no longer being lazy. We're no longer yielding to life. Life is yielding to us. Life gives way to the man who knows where he is going. And when you're on seed retention, you start knowing where we are going. Because the thing is, when you go on seed retention, it's a gift from the Most High to really help us conquer and dominate our path, because our brain realizes that we're not getting as much as we used to. So it's doing everything in its power to really make us become just more an effective being, so we can finally attract a mate, or be somebody who is attractive. This is the bottom line. But if you keep giving it up to people you don't care about, or you keep relapsing to yourself, it what really tends to happen is just that you're not as effective as you really can be, because you're letting your genius, your inner creative energy, just dissipate and disappear. And this is a big problem. So as retainers, we are raising our conscious level. Our priorities are a little bit different. Our set of beliefs start becoming different. Our behavior starts to differentiate. We have a set of confidence. We are very confident beings now. We're no longer taking the scraps. We no longer have a scarcity mindset. We have all initiative to create in the present. We're no longer thinking about the past. We're thinking about how can we become the most effective today. And if we continue to do this, we're going to create a legacy. We're creating a very vibrant life. We're creating a life that is very, very attractive to people in general. Because we start thinking with our heads and not with our nutsack. We're thinking with our heads. Our thinking is one with the source. Our thinking is one with the Most High. Our thinking is aligned with our highest self. This is how we're raising our consciousness. So like I said, our beliefs are a little bit different. Our actions are different. What we pay attention to is a little bit different. We no longer can really associate with people who are living in a lower vibration. We can only mastermind with people who live in a higher vibration, who are living for the soul instead of the flesh. Because the flesh comes and goes, but our soul is eternal. So we start living in that type of atmosphere. This is the bottom line. People who are not on this vibration, they might think that you come off a little bit too cocky. You just might think they're just very confident. People might find this as someone who's a narcissist, but this is not the effect that we are giving off, or this isn't what we're trying to aim at. We're aiming at something as we're leaders, and we are trying to really conquer a path. And anybody who's not in the same vicinity or in the same atmosphere as that we are, they tend to kind of fade away from us because we can only start vibrating with people. We can only start living in harmony with people who share similar mindsets, similar beliefs, similar outlooks on life, and this is the bottom line. So you start raising your conscious level when you go on semen retention, because the extra seminal fluid is now going up through your whole body. It's making your dopamine receptors in your brain abundant. It's making you think. It's making your brain activity very active. You start thinking a lot more. If you combine this with meditation, you're literally becoming enlightened in this physical reality. You're literally helping become solve problems. You're literally becoming more intelligent. You're becoming smarter. You have creative thinking skills. You have more confidence. You have the ability to get yourself out of sticky situation. Every time something goes bad, you're no longer putting a pouty face on. You can reassess the problem and you can think creatively to get yourself out of it. All of this is happening because you're retaining your seminal fluid. You're delaying your gratification. You don't put like I said, you do not put the V-box on a pedestal like 95% of the population. 95% of men in the population are thinking with their nutsack, but you are not one of them. You are an abundant being. You're becoming more enlightened. A 1% man cannot be intrigued, cannot be attracted just by if a woman is trying to seduce you with her V-box. It doesn't happen. She has to stimulate your mind. She has to stimulate your emotions. She has to stimulate some sort of something else about you, because you are not the 99%. You are a 1% man. You need something else to really get stimulated, if that makes sense. I mean, all this comes in hand, but the people who are always thinking with their nutsack, they're always in a lower vibration. They're always settling for something because they just don't want to put enough work in. They realize that work has to take energy, and they keep depleting themselves of energy. And like I said, if you keep depleting yourself of energy, you're never really going to create that abundant life that you want, because it takes energy to create abundance in your life. It takes critical thinking. It takes more than just flesh. It takes your soul. It takes you to be all in. So you will raise your consciousness level to maybe enlightenment, to joy, to love, instead of living in shame or guilt, if that makes sense. Like the video if that makes sense. Comment and subscribe below. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.